He said there's no way that we could possibly have pulled that kind of a stunt. He said we had such a good truck, we really felt like we were possible winners here, and we had to stay on our original strategy. But then he gave me a little smirk and said they might be onto something.
Hey, Ray, don't pull your headset off anymore. we like it when we can just go right to you. You've got all the stories down there on pit road.
I'm telling you, Bud talked about them being a potential winner. I don't think he's watched this 3 truck in this race.
Well, so many people were pointing their fingers at the 3 as far as the class of the field.
You know, Greg Persley's been into the wall once. We saw him up in turn 1 and 2. Then he got booted in the rear end, tore the heck out of Hornaday's truck. Couldn't have done his truck any good. Slid through the grass on the front straightaway. By the way, running in the ninth spot. Great run.
Trying to get that 8th spot away from Ricky Carmichael in the Monster Chevrolet.
Ricky's just a top 10 guy nowadays, isn't he, Phil? Every
week. Every
rolls
week.
off top 10.
Chris DeVoe.
She must have pulled her headset off.
No, she would never do that, Krista.
No, well, actually, I was talking to some of the fans here at the Iowa Speedway, but not this time. This time I was actually listening to the number 3, Danny Stockman, the crew chief, telling his driver, Austin Dillon, once he got back out in front, he said, now just keep doing what you've been doing all race. Just stay calm, stay poised. He also, though, did remind him, we may need to start saving fuel. That could become an issue. But when he asked Austin, how is the truck, Austin responded with one sentence, it's perfect.
Don't you just love It's Always Something? Austin just leading the race. He's so happy. I got this, baby. Austin, save us a little gas.
Yeah.
Then he's thinking, oh,
wait a
no.
minute.
What do you mean? Why didn't y'all put more in it? Why'd I have to do that?
I would almost say, could that be a little bit of strategy from the crew chief saying, don't push it?
No,
too hard.
no, because they pitted on lap number 106. Remember, we said our pit window was somewhere between 90 and 100.
So his fears are real. They're just.
Real. They're just. Well, his grandfather, Richard Childress, came from Chicago to watch this race. It's a good one to pick to see because Austin Dillon could go to victory lane today in Iowa. Welcome back to Iowa Speedway. Yes, that is the 6th caution of the day. This one for debris.
Good and bad news for Austin Dillon. Good news is he can save a little fuel under this caution. The bad news is he had over a 2-second lead, and now it's gone.
Yeah, he's going to have to battle Johnny Sauter once again on the restart.
And you remember on the last restart, Johnny was able to get around him. And it looked like their times had pretty much stabilized. Once Austin got out about 2 seconds, whether he was indeed saving some fuel or if Johnny had gotten better, they were running about the same lap times. And Phil, you know this. Sometimes as a race car driver, when they tell you to start saving fuel, you go a little faster. You start letting off and rolling into the corner, and you actually pick up speed. And so that could have been the case for Austin. He let off the gas and he kept a pretty good pace up.
So just 27 laps of racing remaining from Iowa Speedway. We're going to slip away quickly and be back for an exciting finish to the Lucas Oil 200. And welcome back to a sunny Newton, Iowa, and the Iowa Speedway for the Lucas Oil 200. Just 25 laps remaining in this one. Out in front, Austin Dillon. Can he hold off the 13 of Johnny Sauter? You see Brian Eichler on pit row. They're doing a little work to that race truck as he gets the Aaron's Lucky Dog. He'll be back on the lead lap, so that puts 15 trucks on the lead lap. While we were at break, a few trucks did make it onto pit road. Let's go down to Chris DeVoe.
Wanted to let you know what Mike Skinner did and why they came in. Well, they pitted back on lap 106, but they did not take tires. They had taken fuel only back then, and right before that caution came out, Mike Skinner had started to slide back. When the caution did come out, he said, yep, boys, we burned our tires off. We're coming in for 4. Ray?
His teammate David Starr did the same thing, Krista, only a little different strategy. They put on the tires that they had used in their first round of pit stops. They had pitted on lap 41. They re-glued up that set, put them back on, and David's hoping he can march back to the front. He'll start 1 position ahead of his teammate, Mike Skinner.
Yeah, those tires had 40-some laps on them, Phil. The tires he has on now are getting up around 60 or 70, so he just went for a little bit fresher tires. Jason White, after scrubbing the outside wall, has made it back to the track.
Jason White scored in the 23rd position. He's 32 laps down.
As a matter of fact, the 22nd place truck right now is Norm Benning, who's only 6 laps down, so he actually cannot gain any positions by staying on the racetrack.
But
He can
hold
stay
off
ahead of Ron Hornaday, and that's really all he can do. But that's 3 points.
Yeah, he wants those 3 points. He has fallen out of the top 10 back to 11th, so you want to preserve all you can.
Let's take a look at our Dodge save of the race.
Can we call these saves? I guess he kept going, so yes, we'll go with save. Watch this. He jumps the cushion here, gets a little high loose in the corner, corrects, and gets into the outside wall. That looks like pretty good contact, but not a lot of damage. Then watch this, Phil.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of damage. He's gonna get nerfed in the back by Ron Hornaday and sent into the infield grass. But he has persevered, has been running in the top 10 consistently. There's a good battle right there with the Ford Ricky Carmichael earlier.
He is back in the race. He's currently 7th, and that was our Dodge save of the race.
Yeah, he drove around Ricky Carmichael just before that caution came out, so personally he's got a good truck. That's fun to see, isn't it? Guy that's been racing in the weekly racing series, coming to Iowa with a chance to race on one of the big stages in NASCAR and run in the top 10.
How about the row behind them? You've got Ryan Segan, the 39, and the tire monkey of Mario Goslin, both with top 10 runs going. Nice job by both those teams.
Randy Kaiser takes the pace truck back on to pit row. That puts the field back in the hands of Austin Dillon. Johnny Sauter on the inside, so Dillon chooses the outside line. Let's see if he can make it work for him.
Well, last time Sauter took the lead from the outside, so Austin said, I know how to fix that.
Sauter with another great restart, trying to battle Austin Dillon on the inside of the track. Let's see how he does through 3 and 4.
Yeah, so much more experience Johnny Sauter has over the Austin Dillon, but I think Austin Dillon just has the truck, and he's really showing some maturity beyond his years. He really has all year. He's just gotten better and better and better all year long.
What a great kid he is, too, Rick. Last night we had him in the booth and talked to him. He helped us with the ARCA race, talking about his little brother. You can just see he has a lot of respect for this sport. Certainly Richard Childress and the family that he grew up around loves NASCAR racing. I think Austin has the same appreciation for the history of the sport, and certainly can drive the wheels off his truck, driving away from these guys.
Austin Dillon, his career best finish is 3rd. That was at Texas earlier this year. Krista.
Well, down here in the 3 pit, there was a lot of debate before that restart on whether Austin Dillon was going to take the inside or the outside on that restart. Danny Stockman said, well, you know, the outside's been pretty good, but you've been good on the inside. He left it up to the driver. He said, you're the one driving this thing. You make the call.
Schrader, an aggressive move around the outside of Matt Crafton. You know, we watch Schrader. He just tiptoes through the first halves of these races, but when it comes down to it, he's ready to go, making the move around the outside of Crafton, trying to grab that 6th spot away from him.
He's been in that truck a couple times previous. He finished 9th at Kansas, had a top 5 run, finished 5th at Texas, looking for a little bit more today.
Yeah, he's going. That's actually for the 5th spot. He drives up into the top 5 here late in the going.
And behind him, 10th, 11th, and 12th. You see David Starr in that battle with Stacy Compton in the 60.
Mario Goslin in the 12 truck right in front of them. Mario holds down that 10th spot right now. See, Stacy started back in the 3rd spot. Been very consistent this year. A couple top 10 finishes already for Stacy in 5 starts.
17 laps to go. What a great story for that 12 of Mario Goslin a year ago, fighting just to make it to the racetrack and try to put his name out there so someone would maybe take a chance with him. And Tire Monkey comes on board and says, you know what? I like what you're doing. I like the process you're taking to get to the highest level of racing. I'd like to help you out. Now, battling for a top 10 position here at Iowa, Stacy Compton looking to the inside.
What a run Stacy Compton had through the center of that corner and off it. He just drove by the 81 of David Starr. Now he's trying to get Mario.
He's going to get Mario. That truck's coming alive here late in the going.
Remember, he's one of the trucks that came down pit road on this most recent caution flag.
Ricky Carmichael just in front of the 60 of Stacy Compton. Carmichael running 9th, Compton 10th. Goslin in 11th, David Starr in 12th. Now Dillon has a 1.4 second lead over Johnny Sauter.
That's a great battle right there for 6th, 7th, and 8th. James Busher has not been able to advance beyond this 6th position with these new tires. Mike Skinner has new tires now. He's going to get by the 62 of Greg Pursley. That is for the 7th position.
You know, Pursley was on the inside of Buscher, lost his momentum. Here comes Skinner and takes that spot away from him. And like you said, Phil, those fresher tires that Skinner's got on is paying off here late in the going.
Not sure.
Oh, Mario sideways.
Goslin up into the marbles, but keeps it off the wall. Checks up just a bit.
That's a nice save. Ryan Sieg's going to be able to get by in the 39 truck.